Batman's most epic fight, attack on Wayne Manor. Injured from his last encounter with the Court of Owls, Bruce looks over a model of the city that he'd built in order to demonstrate his planned urban renewal projects. In the darkness, it seems very much like the city he thought he knew. When Alfred Pennyworth turns on the laser projections indicating the shape of the intended building plans, the light hurts his eyes. Bruce reflects on his scenario, an arrogant fool standing over a toy city while the real city operates behind his back. Alfred assures him that the Waynes are a long line of arrogant fools, and the real city across the bay is better as a result of their efforts. Suddenly, a thump on the roof alerts them, and Bruce orders Alfred to get to safety in the cave. Bruce rushes up the stairs, and using his computer-enhanced contact lenses, he looks out the window to see a parliament of owls perched outside of the manor, and he knows that the Talons have come for him. Over his radio earpiece, Alfred struggles to give Bruce any information about just how many attackers there are going to be, because there are more than he can count. As Bruce struggles for his life against his would-be assassins, he loses contact with Alfred, who has just discovered that a Talon has made its way into the Batcave. Bruce makes his way out onto the roof of the manor and manages to pin one of the Talons to the shingles with a broken weather vane. Unfortunately, there are still more on his tail. Using a secret latch in the chimney, Bruce escapes down a hidden tunnel into the Batcave. There, he encounters the intrusive Talon, who muses that Bruce Wayne seems to have a secret. Before the assassin can attack, the giant penny nearby suddenly seems to shudder and then falls down flat on top of the Talon, courtesy of Alfred. The Talon is pinned, and Bruce rips off the owl hood, demanding to know how many more will come. The Talon mockingly announces that there will be enough. Not just for Bruce, but for others too. Realizing that he may be able to get more information without the Talon's consent, Bruce breaks his arm and removes the computerized gauntlet he wears. As even more Talons begin to find their way into the cave, Bruce and Alfred make for the armory and its reinforced doors. They know those doors won't hold long, but Bruce hopes that there will be something in there to buy them time. Remembering that the Talon's regenerative functions are heat-sensitive, he has Alfred lower the cave's temperature to sub-zero. Additionally, he plucks a computer chip out of the Talon's gauntlet and hopes that Alfred can decrypt it and find out what's being planned. As the Talons pound away on the armory's doors, they are surprised to see them opening slowly. Out steps the Batman in a heavily armored batsuit, and he orders them to leave his house. In 1855, the brothers Solomon and Joshua Wayne purchased the building which would become known as Wayne Manor. Unfortunately, they couldn't move in until 2 years later because the caves beneath the manor had been infested with bats. After some consultation, they decided that the best way to eliminate the bats would be to introduce a predator to the caves. The most effective bird for culling the bats turned out to be a tigerole. Within a year, all of the bats were gone. Now, as then, the bats of those caves are subject to being clawed at by the Talons of the Court of Owls. Batman bravely struggles to keep the Talons occupied long enough for Alfred to lower the temperature in the Batcave to below zero, from the relative safety of the armory. Unfortunately, it could well be 5 minutes before temperatures are low enough to completely subdue the Talons and eliminate their regenerative healing. Bruce's war suit is specially equipped for a wide variety of environmental conditions, and he hopes that he will be able to survive long enough in it for the temperature to drop. Unfortunately, his resistance is waning, and the Talons knock him to the ground at the foot of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which he has kept since his adventure on Dinosaur Island. The assembled assassins begin tearing and smashing at his armor. Still, Bruce has a few tricks left. Suddenly, the dinosaur raises its foot and brings it crushing down on the Talons. This only serves to anger the remaining Talons further, and they begin mercilessly stabbing at him through his armor. Alfred notices that Bruce's vitals are rapidly dropping and begs him to return to the armory. Stubbornly, Bruce coughs that those doors won't hold, disregarding the fact that his own body may not hold any longer than the doors. Alfred attempts to leave the armory to help him, but Bruce overrides the door command before slipping out of consciousness. Bruce realizes that he had forgotten something about the story of his family's arrival at the manor. They had used owls to kill all of the bats, but even after that culling, the bats returned as soon as the owls left. The bats had hidden deeper in the caves, knowing the owls couldn't tolerate those darker places. When the bats came back, it was with a vengeance. Bruce rises as a swarm of bats, stirred from their sleep by the change in temperature, begins attacking the Talons. Bruce casts aside his war suit and pulls his cowl down over his face. The Bat has returned. With the Talons distracted by the bats, Batman lands heavy punches as the temperature drops to the point at which the assassins cannot regenerate. Batman notices one of the Talons trying to escape, and entering the Batmobile, he runs the assassin down, instructing Alfred to freeze the remaining Talons with the coolant he prepared. In the meantime, there is an owl symbol in the sky over Gotham City, and the time has come to snuff it.